whatever time zone you are checking us in. This is your navigator, driver of the ship, seeker of advice, and inventor, DeeCaptain, checking in and letting you guys all know that we are cleared to set sail to our next conversation. Hope you guys like that intro. Been working on that for a little bit of time, but just wanted to reach out to everybody just to check in. Happy New Year 2019. We are starting a fresh new year. Today is officially the 1st of 2019. Just got up this morning and started my morning routine workout that I've just implemented into my daily regimen. And I have to say, guys, it's definitely been working out big time. But yeah, I wanted to do a little bit of a podcast for everybody. Something small, something light to digest, maybe to start your new year with some thoughts, some insights as far as what you think was your biggest resolution or revelation in 2018. I know a lot of us have gone through a lot of trials and tribulations and have really been tested this year, or I would say last year at this point, in regards to what we've accomplished. I know myself, 2018, if I were to summarize the whole thing, it would be growth, big time. Growth would be the summary of 2018. I mean, there's been so much that's gone on in my life that I'm very grateful for. I've definitely challenged myself in the year that just passed. I've, changed career paths. I've switched up my motivation, mindset, my goals, and, completely did a 180. Now, that didn't come without its fair share of, stress and, adaptation. But overall, would I redo it again? Absolutely. It was something that helped me develop and grow to the person that I'm going to be moving forward. And which I wanted to just talk about 2018, moving into 2019. What are some of your guys', events that occurred that really changed you and helped you grasp on to what your mindset will be moving forward? What kind of changes are you going to be making moving into 2019 to reinvent yourself? I speak a lot about reinventing because I think that's one of the most important things that you should be tapping into. I'm a big advocate of time and effort and what you're moving towards. Who you are today isn't necessarily going to be, or at least it shouldn't be, who you want to be in the next 10 to 20 years. You want to change, you want to adapt, you want to become a better person, be a better you, and that does come with making adjustments. And for me, I think that in 2018, especially towards the latter half of the year, from the months of September to December, I've really learned how to change things around in my life to have a little bit more consistency. So I have a list here just of a couple things that I've adapted in the last couple of days to kind of get a little bit of a trial run before the new year started. And a lot of these come from some of my mentors and some of my motivational people out there who inspire me to be a better me and to grow and challenge myself. So one of the things that I've implemented now is goal setting on a daily basis, on a monthly basis, on a 3-month basis, and 6-month basis, and so on and so forth. A lot of my, idols like Kevin O'Leary and, a lot of the people from Shark Tank and Gary Vaynerchuk and Grant Cardone, they are big into goal setting. They say that you should be on top of what you are wanting to accomplish every hour, every minute, and every day. It shouldn't be something that you check in with every couple of weeks or every couple of months. You want to always have that laser focus. And what I've done to help me keep focus is I set my goals now, starting from the year. What do I want to accomplish in 2020? In 2020 or 2019 December, what will I want to be checked off on my list to be able to know that I was successful this year? And then we kind of roll it back to 6 months. In 6 months, around June, my check-in date, what am I going to have accomplished to know that I'm on the right track? And then down to the 90-day, which is one of my favorite time periods because that's really where you can make a momentum shift into whether or not you're doing the right things or you're on your correct path. What am I doing in these 90 days? What goals have I set? And are these goals, reasonable? Are they achievable? Do I have to push myself? Are they, set within a specific time frame? Are they, specific goals? Are you putting on your list, I want to lose weight? Or are you putting on your list, I have to lose 15 pounds by this specific date? the importance and the power of having a specific goal is almost times 10 of setting a goal that's not specific. You don't want to give yourself wiggle room. You don't want to give yourself an opportunity to cheat. Oh, I lost 5 pounds, so I should be good. No, set your goal at 15. Set your goal at 20. Have a long-term goal, you know. So I do the 90-day, I do the 30-day, and then every morning now I do my dailies, you know. And I think the importance of having the daily ones is that you can kind of get a refresh. Every day seems like a new opportunity to have success. Every day seems like a new, you know, challenge, a new reason to get up and to get the day going, to have a mental focus. And you check in at the end of the night. Hey, I got this accomplished. These goals weren't met, so I'm going to roll them over to the next day. You don't get upset. You don't get too caught up on it, but you know that, you know, having that feeling of you got some level of accomplishment makes you feel like, you know, those days that you're sitting home or you're hanging out with friends or you're spending leisure time and so on and so forth, you don't really feel like you're wasting your time because, you know, at the end of the night when you check in, you know you got what you had to get done. You went out there and got it done. So goal setting, big major focus this year. Starting the year off strong. I've got my goals set up on my whiteboard. I've got them set up on my journal that I keep next to my bed. I keep them next to my desk. Everywhere I go around my house has a notepad. We're writing our goals down. We're checking in frequently. We're making sure that we are getting shit done. Next on my list of changes for 2019, working out. Man, oh man. How many of us have set goals to work out and only lasted about a couple weeks before we're back into our slump of not doing anything, huh? You know you are listening on to that podcast. I was in your seat before too. One thing that I've noticed about working out is that it's big into consistency, you know? Get up and get moving. A lot of the times you have to force yourself to get up, force yourself to do the workout. Not everybody's going to be motivated to work out. And it was funny because I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast. Shout out to Joe Rogan. Shameless plug there. Definitely check out his podcast. I listen to them every day. Great podcast. Got some really good guests in there. But one of the guests that really connected with me was this Navy SEAL, David Goggins. You know, this guy was 300 pounds. Spraying cockroaches throughout his life. Was always told that he was a nobody and he was a loser. Now, if you check him out, he's one of the most athletic people in the world. He changed his life entirely. He developed a persona of called Roger That. You know, whenever he needed to get something done, Roger That. I'm gonna get up and get it going. He has this mentality of having same way that our people who work out get calluses in their hands. He creates what's called calluses in the mind. You know, you have to train your mind and train your mental focus to be able to endure the most stress, the most endearing workouts, the most endearing mental strenuous activities in order for you to develop and change who you are. And he went from 300 pounds down to 185 in a matter of 60 days just to fit into the Navy SEALs program that he was looking to get into. So, but one of the things that he said that was pretty funny on the Joe Rogan podcast is he mentioned how, you know, that he lives for those days that he gets up and he laces up and ties his sneakers and he says, you know, I don't want to fucking do this, man. This is fucking stupid. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. Yada, yada, yada. I have to, you know, get up and go out and get running and go get it. But he lives for those moments because you really don't appreciate those moments until after the workout, you know? How many of us have gotten up and, you know, really didn't feel like getting dressed to the gym, really didn't feel like walking to the gym, really didn't feel like parking or whatever may be the case, however you get to your workout. But once you get the workout going, you know, after you take that first initial step, the whole workout develops into something that you just have to finish, you know. And then when it's all said and done, you feel 10 times better. You know, you look back into when you first started the workout and you told yourself, man, like, I feel so much better. I feel so much more accomplished. You know, I got that workout done, even though I didn't want to get that workout done. I got up and I got it and I went and worked hard. You know, and he says that those are the moments that he lives for. That's why he says that there is no finish line. You know, you may have lost all this weight. You may have changed your life. You may have the body you're looking for. You may have the mental calluses in your mind to be a strong-minded, you know, workaholic. But there is no finish line. This is something that you have to do day in and day out. Keep the focus, laser focus, because at any moment you can fall and slip up. And I think that's very powerful. I think that having that mindset when you're going into your workouts where you know that there's going to be more days than not that you don't feel like working out, but understanding where you're going to end up at the end of the workout is what makes it all worth it. Where you're going to be when you hit your weight goal, or when you look good, or you put on that t-shirt, dress, blouse, whatever may be the case, and you notice you have all that baggage gone, and you have to go clothes shopping. You feel good, you feel confident, you feel motivated. So working out, having laser focus, and having what I like to call a Mamba mentality. Shout out to Kobe. Just read his book for Christmas. I got phenomenal book. Definitely a check out if you guys haven't. Kobe Bryant is one of the first people that I've ever followed when it came to having that hardcore mentality when it comes to getting up, those 5 a.m. days, every single day, shooting in the gym, literally doing it for yourself and doing it because you want to grow and change and be better, not because anyone's motivating you to do it. Be your own self-motivation. But yeah, working out, being conscious about that, tying it into my goals, my daily goals, and making sure that I'm consistently active, not only because it's better for my health, but it's going to energize me throughout my day. It's going to build more confidence, and it's going to help me feel better on and off the court, essentially. So the next thing that I was really, really trying to make sure that I focused in moving forward into 2019 would be consistency. How many of us have set goals that we haven't really followed through after a week or two? How many of us have realistically followed through on checking in and making sure that we are doing what we set out to achieve? How many times have we started a project and haven't finished it? Consistency is key. I would rather do 5 push-ups every single day consistently throughout the year than do 100 push-ups for a day. Consistency is what makes you change. Consistency is how habits are formed. They say that when you want to break a habit, you have to stop doing it or start doing it if you wanted to form a new habit for about 90 days. And that comes from consistency. You have to be able to set a regimen and stick to it. It has to be mindless. You can't think about it. You have to know, these are my daily goals. This is what I got to do. I got to work out on these days. No ifs, ands, or buts. Hey, let's hang out with my friends later, or let's go to the bar, or let's go to this family event. Cool, no problem. You can do those things, but get your work done. There is no excuses. So consistency is one of the biggest reasons why I set the goals that I do on a daily basis. It's kind of how I check in with myself. I make sure that my goals are always looked at, make sure that my goals are always being followed. If I see something here or there that's stopping me from completing my goals, maybe I'm not getting up on time, maybe having too much of a late night sleep, maybe I'm working too many hours, maybe I'm not spending enough time with my family. Consistency, always being on top of your stuff, no matter what, and never getting comfortable. Having those gaps of time where, things are going good. You might be a month into your workout, 2 months into your workout, 3 months into your workout, and you're feeling good and you're seeing the results. But then you have those lackluster weekends where maybe you went out and partied. Maybe you went to a family trip. Maybe, work got a hold of you and you really didn't get a chance to check in with yourself. And then you start breaking those habits that you were so successful for. And then you're a week or 2 weeks in and you've destroyed almost a month worth of progress. Consistently checking in with yourself and staying consistent with your goals that you set and making those changes is a must-have on a daily, weekly, and if you're that crazy, on an hourly basis. So consistency is super key. Another thing that I've learned, and I've been posting up on off of another mentor that I found out, I won't say his name, but this guy wakes up every morning at 4:30 in the morning and takes a picture of his watch for 352 days a year. Every single morning he wakes up, takes a picture of his watch. Getting up early, grind starts before everyone else does. Early bird gets the worm. Waking up early has really taught me the importance of time management. And I want to reference Kobe Bryant again for another one of his teachings that really helped me. And I don't know if you guys watch a lot of basketball, but a lot of these athletes follow, Kobe Bryant just one example, but a lot of athletes follow this regimen when it comes to understanding the importance of breaking it down, right? So he uses an example where he gets up, an average player, they get up at 6 or 7 in the morning, have breakfast, not have breakfast, they'll go to the gym from 8 to 9, have a nice workout session. Then 10 o'clock they rest, go hang out with family, go do what they gotta do, meetings, so on and so forth. Then they work out again around 1 to 2, we'll say 1 to 3. Then they rest, have family dinner, so on and so forth. And then the third session they have would be around from 8 to 9, and then they sleep for the rest of the nights. So that's 3 sessions, right? Then he says, but what if I dialed it back a little bit? What if I got up at 4:30 in the morning, right? Went to the gym at 5, worked out from 5 to 6, came home, spent time with the family, had breakfast, then rest. Then we're back at it at 8 to 9, session number 2. Again, rest, have your meetings, do what you got to do, have lunch. Then you're back at it again from 1 to 2. That's the third session. Then you may have to go pick up the kids from school or have some more family time, then have dinner, and then you're back at it again from 8 to 10, right? That's 4 sessions right there versus 3. That extra hour of working out or getting the work done every single day, over time, the level of separation only creates more of a gap between Kobe and his competitors. And he says that, look how much work he's done in that time. That 1 hour may not seem as a big deal from the smaller daily perspective, but that 1 extra hour on a weekly is almost like a full day extra. And a monthly, it's 4 days extra. On a 3 month span, that's almost a whole week. And over time, the gap becomes so large that he outworks all of his competitors that they can't catch up. And I kind of thought of that mindset when it comes to a lot of the things that I do. Why wait until, like, for example, getting home after work? Let's say if you're one of those people that worked in retail like I used to, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, go to the gym, 11 to 12 or 1, get home, eat, shower, go to sleep, and then wake up at like 7 or 8 and then have to go to work. Those sessions that you have at night, are they really, full of energy? Are you really maximizing your time? The time from 11 to 2 in the morning is not really the most, advantageous time to get stuff done, because you're tired from work, you're tired from the end of the day, you're getting that extra turmoil from whatever happened, you might be in your emotions, you're pretty much exhausted. Not only that, but you're tired, you're sleepy, and you're building a bad habit. Yes, it does work out for some, and some people don't have an option, but just think about it. Starting earlier, right, before anyone else gets up, at the very crack of dawn, 4:30, 5:30, whatever may be the case, and starting your day early, getting your workouts in early, setting your goals early. So by the time everyone's getting up, say if you're working a 9 to 5 even, most people are getting up around from 7 to 8 o'clock. By that time, you've already worked out, you've had breakfast, you've taken a nice shower, you set your goals, you've not only started the day with so much more energy and feeling so much more accomplishment, but you take that positivity and that attitude throughout your day. And now you're coming home, even if, let's say, for instance, you're still coming home at 10 o'clock at night, you don't really have to worry about the dread of going to the gym, or the dread of having to do homework, or the dread of having to do all these things that you really don't feel like doing. You don't really have an opportunity to fail. You can't just really say, oh, I'm too tired, I'll worry about it tomorrow. No, you don't have to, because you've already got it done. Now you go home, you can rest, you can relax. The nighttime is really meant for people to relax and to think about the next day, but don't bleed things into the next day. So waking up early was another one of the things that I've implemented in, I've been getting up around 5 to 6 in the morning around that time, and it's been working out big time. 12 o'clock in the afternoon, which is when I used to wake up, and we'll say even between 10 and 12, so much of the day has gone by already, and I would feel like I've got nothing done. Some days I'd be 1 or 2 o'clock and I'm like, I just had brunch, like I've gotten shit done, like nothing. And you feel like the days pass you by, and then now it's 12 o'clock. Oh my God, look how much I've done already. Like, and I still have another 10 hours of the day. Like, I really maximize my time. And it may be something small as, getting through it, or having that extra cup of coffee, or having to really push through the first couple of days. But once you get that regimen, that consistency, that focus every single day, you will see the results come so much more easily than any other kind of changes you try to just cram into your day. So waking up early is going to be something that I do even on my rest days when I'm not working out. It's just about remaining consistent with that, and making sure that I'm up in the morning, and I'm getting the grind going, and I'm making sure that I'm accomplishing as much as I can and maximizing each day. And then another one of the things that I've set as one of the challenges for myself moving forward 2019 would be setting a game plan, which I already talked about as far as goal setting. But having those goals written down is great. It looks great on paper. You want to be the person that opens up their own business. You want to be the person that gets promoted in your position. You want to have a more successful marriage. You want to have a more happy life. You want to spend more time with your kids. That's great, but what's your game plan? How are you going to break that down on a daily basis? How are you going to know what changes you need to do to get to that point? I like to start backwards. I start at the end. Let's say if I want to get promoted, okay, so if I was a manager, if I'm already at a basic level, if I was wanting to get promoted to a manager as an example, if I was a manager, what behaviors, what mindset, how did I get here, and what do I have to be? Who do I have to be to get to this role? I have to be consistent. I have to care about my appearance. I have to have great work ethic. I have to be a team player. I have to be able to work well with others. I have to be able to manage a store. I have to be able to consistently learn. I have to be good with escalations. I have to do all these things. Now, you take those goals, you take those mindsets, you take those aspirations of who you are going to become, and you apply them to yourself. Be more consistent. Be more, held accountable. Have more consistency in how you work and how you dress and how you present yourself. Always be hungry for knowledge. Always be hungry to learn. Always be hungry to make adaptations to better yourself. And you'll see that, the pieces will line up. So, and that's just one aspect. I mean, it can go across your relationships, your marriage, your friendships, your schooling, everything. Start from the end and work your way backwards. And then when you get to where you are now, you'll have a blueprint of exactly the changes you need to do to get to that point. So having a game plan goes hand in hand with setting your goals. And then another important thing, and I already talked about, but I'll just reference it again, is checking in. Checking in is such for me at least, checking in is such a huge deal. Having those specific dates, like for me, I set them the 1st of the month, the 15th of the month, and the end of the month. I do the 3 big check-ins where I look at my goals, I look at what I've done, what I set out to do, what works, what doesn't work, what I've accomplished, what I haven't accomplished, what I need to change to get to my end result. And then you make those tweaks, little by little. And it doesn't have to be something major, like I have to eat 1,000 less calories. No, but you can cut out the little things. I don't have to drink soda. I don't have to, have sugary drinks when I go out. I'll have seltzer water. Or I don't have to eat really trashy breakfast. I have more home cooked meals. The little tweaks here and there are the ones that really make the big change in whether or not you hit your goals. But checking in, what I would recommend and what's been working with me is having specific dates to check in and following those dates to the T. Set an alarm on your phone. Set aside an hour in that day. I know you have that time. A lot of people complain about not having enough time in the day. Set aside that time. It's very crucial for you and your growth. And go through and check in with yourself. And then I mean be honest with yourself. If you was setting a goal to losing 20 pounds and you're at 18 pounds, yeah, that's great. But those 2 pounds are still on you, right? So what could you have done better to push yourself over that hump? You shouldn't be, trying to meet your goals. You're supposed to be exceeding your goals. You're supposed to be, thriving. The behaviors you have in place are what's supposed to be your stepping stones to get to where you want to go. So, checking in always consistently, and never make that something that you forget to do, because we get caught up on our routines. And, if you can pretty much ride a car and be on autopilot until you crash into a wall, but you didn't know you crashed into the wall because you didn't check, and you didn't see that you had no brakes. You were driving along fine and everything was great, but when you don't realize, you hit a wall and you're stuck. And it's 10 times worse when, you've wasted, let's say, 2 weeks out of the month not making those small changes or not checking in and not noticing that things aren't working. And you've wasted all that time. And now you have to play catch up or make complete bigger changes in order for you to stay on track. So check in consistently, set specific dates, and make sure that you do it every chance you can and follow your goals. And then lastly is challenging yourself. So, this is one of the ones that I find more challenging myself. So, at first, goal setting wasn't an issue for me. I can set a bunch of goals. I can, have a game plan. I can be consistent. But what really makes the difference is being able to challenge yourself. And when I say that is, understanding the difference between shooting for a goal and shooting to exceed that goal, to stretch yourself. I've begun doing stretch goals more and more. Where, for example, like if my goal is to lose 20 pounds, my stretch goal might be 22 pounds, 23 pounds, and I'll be shooting for 23. And the reason I'm shooting for 23 is because I know that if I work hard enough to get to 23, but I land on 21, not only have I hit my goal, but I also did a little bit of extra, which goes a long way. And it may not seem like a lot at first, but over time, you'll notice the increments become more and more of a bigger deal once you start getting towards your end of month goals, your 90-day goals, your 6-month goals, your yearly goals. And you're seeing that little wiggle room of separation really makes a huge deal overall. So yeah, guys, 2019 is going to be an interesting year, hopefully for everyone. Like I said before, I was going to keep this pretty short. Just wanted to check in with the team, with everybody, with my fellow crew members of this amazing ship that we're driving into success. But in 2019, we're looking to definitely grow the podcast. We're looking to do some more episodes and have a couple more guests on the show. At the moment, we have a little bit of a hiatus, but we're working on that. Me and Sai. So, but aside from that, I'm definitely going to be doing a little bit more of these solo podcasts just to check in and talk about some relevant topics and to see what's going on. And if there's any topics that you guys want to talk about, or if anything you want me to cover in regards to either my progress through my journey, or even in general, like what's going on with Tekashi 69, definitely feel free to comment, and definitely subscribe if you haven't onto our YouTube channel as well as our SoundCloud, and we will be up in iTunes moving forward. So definitely have your daily dosage of We Should Make That a Podcast. So once again, this is DeeCaptain signing out. We are heading ahoy to the next island of success and conversations. Guys, happy 2018. Hope it was a great year. Let's make 2019 a better year, and let's look to make those changes and to be as successful as possible. So this is DeeCaptain signing out. I'll see you guys